Happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome to my vlog for the week of December 12, 2022. It has been a busy week in a variety of ways. But it has also been creative in some ways. Thursday, we were basically snowed out, snowed in. And so from that point of time, I have been busy in my studio, and thankfully the snow melted because there was rain after that. And yeah, so yeah, here's a local honey one of my friends gave me for Christmas, and I love honey. I use honey in my tea. So yeah, I thought, it's so nicely packaged. It's the small business beauty. So that, and I have been watching so many Christmas decoration reels on Instagram, and those tiny ceramic houses with lights in them. I'm just so in love with that kind of vignette. So I wanted to make a simple one for myself, for my studio. And mine are not ceramic because my house is busy. Glass and ceramic things need to be in very specific places, otherwise accidents happen, and then I'm left cleaning glass and making sure every child is wearing a pair of shoes when they're walking in that area. But broken glass takes a long time to clean up. But yeah, so these are wood, less likely to break and shatter. And I have a holly tree right outside the window. I can actually see the holly berries. And so today I collected a few sprigs from that tree, and just to make my vignette. So yeah, let's do that. And I'm going to be quiet, and then I'm going to come back. I have this tray, and yeah, it would be, in a way, if it was all white, it would have been one kind of look, but mine are probably going to be more natural looking because these are wood, and I haven't painted them. I could have, but I don't know, I love the natural exposed wood look. So let's see. First of all, okay, so here's my Starbucks, those coffee things you buy in 4-packs at the grocery store. This is one of those. I've cleaned it up. It's not sticky on the sides. I'm going to fill it up with water first. So I am back with my water. The first thing I want to do is take care of these, and they would go far in the water, which I do not want, so I may not be able to put all 3 in. And these have sharp leaves, so if you are handling anything like this, better be careful. Yeah, I have to remove some of the leaves. And you know what? I'm not a floral designer. I do not know the right way of doing this. I didn't do enough research for this. I'm just removing them by hand. And the leaves are pokey. Every time my hand touches one, I feel it. And this is extremely homemade decor. So The last one. Ow. Would it be better if I removed all the leaves? Do I want to try that? Maybe. Like, I feel the leaves are kind of overwhelming the situation. Ooh. Yeah, I like this. I do not know how long the berries would hold up, but there are more berries outside. Plenty. This looks full enough to me. Okay, I'm going to set that aside and clean up my table. Okay, so now if I bring this in, I'm going to move my plants a little bit. And let's start with this. And I have big and small, various size houses. And I don't intend to add a candle because, I forget when I light candles, I have to be very, very careful. Might add a tea light eventually, but I don't know. I don't feel the need for one right now. I have a nutcracker. It's very hard for me to show you what it looks like from the front. I'm going to add a photo. so that is that. I wanted to keep it very simple. I have a tendency to get very, very carried away when I decorate, and I feel, this is a good practice in moderation. And can you see it at all? You're gonna get a top view if I keep it here. Well, I like it. It's kind of cute. And this is just for my studio, so, I don't have to worry about the glass. I don't worry about anybody being poked, the whole thing falling and breaking. Nothing of that sort. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this, but we will see. I don't know, can this be used for eco dyeing? I have no idea. But for the time being, I'm just gonna house them in my little bowl over there. Okay, so what else did I do this week? Yes, I have been working on these quotation on artboard, and I have a new one. Keep some room in your heart for the unimaginable. Mary Oliver. I mean, I think I've mentioned before, I like to have encouraging, uplifting reminders around me. It's, it has a subconscious impact when I'm walking through a space and I have something like that visible to me. Over time, it kind of, I'm able to internalize it entirely, how do you put it? Without putting any active effort. It's just a very organic, it permeates, the message permeates very organically, simply because it is visible to me wherever I am. So in front of my studio desk, there is a table on which I keep my plants that are closer to the window. And whenever I need to see something or something that uplifts me or reminds me of something good, I tend to put it in that space, because whenever I work on this table, whether I'm vlogging, whether I'm painting, whatever it is I am doing, it sits before me, and I find that to be quite helpful. And I try to paint things in cheerful colors, so a lot of things that I love that I put together. And it may seem like it's a simple little thing in which you wrote a quote, but I have found it to be quite a valuable practice for myself, and the people who have bought these things from me, or have I have gifted something to somebody, they kind of also house these little things, on those little stands that are very easy to find in the photo display section of any craft store. Even they are practically available. There's like tiny little easel kind of things in which I just stand these, and that is something I find very uplifting. So I am going to list this one I finished last night, and it's not like it's not like a factory production that you just sit down in one day with all the paints open and then you go from one to the next to the next to the next. It's just whatever calls to me, whatever colors call me that day, because lately I've been thinking I'm enjoying these colors a lot. But still, now that I look at the two boards next to each other, I notice that I was in a different mood when I was doing this than when I was doing this. I think I was like structuring, planning, so I feel somehow this is more structured in that sense. So yeah, it reflects what's going on, and it is not a conscious, not always the most conscious choice. Okay, I'm going to put this color against this color. It's not that. Whatever is flowing, and if I don't like it, I paint over it. But yeah, so that's the like the behind the scenes of this little 4x6 art boards that I paint, I prime paint, etc., and then hand letter. But yeah, I enjoy making these, and they are available in my shop also. So these are not like mass produced things. Other than that, what else have I been doing? I have been working on my art journal. There have been I think I have posted several art journaling reels on my Instagram, mo.saha.studio. This week, or like leading up to today, I have done a lot of that. So this is one of the pages I did, and here's one I did. I think I shared it last week. Here's one I did, and then this one, and this one. I might not have filmed anything for this one. You know, sometimes it's just sometimes I need to designate time for art journaling so I don't miss. Like if I go without making things for a few days, I can feel the unrest. So for me, I try to, you know, be consistent in my practice. But consistent does not mean regular, does not really mean every day for me. I try to do something every day as much as I can, but it doesn't always translate to every day. However, and if I'm doing something at night, I may not even feel like putting on my setup for filming, and that is that. But, you know, I think I shared a picture of this, and I was very called to the neutral colors, and I felt like, you know, sometimes I feel, and I'm only speaking for myself, that I rush to a decision, rush to a judgment about something. And, you know, truth be told, most of it is not fact checked. So it's based on some assumptions that are colored by my experiences in the past. And then I make the decision, oh, okay, so this is this. When in reality, if I had the opportunity to learn the behind the scenes facts, I would have a radically different opinion about that thing. So yeah, keeping that, of course, I'm a human being and I'm getting a first impression when I am interacting with a person or anything in life. So there is that immediate, you know, assessment, is this safe? Is this, either human things. However, to make a firm decision or conclusion about that immediately is not ideal. And the older I grow, the more I realize that. And the more I realize that, I feel needs to be, again, reminders that, you know, your understanding, leave room for other ideas to permeate. My opinion in the moment is my opinion in the moment, it's fine. But to draw a conclusion just based on that momentary impression is not sufficient. So yeah, so I think about this a lot, and when I create in my art journals, there is always, like, if you go through my art journal, you will see my inner workings. It's like the process of growing up as a person, you know, more than as an artist, more than as anything else. Like it has been, art journaling has been a very transformative experience for me. So yeah, the inner workings somehow find their expression in what I am doing. And then one of the things is centering myself. Like when a lot of things start coming my way, I start to get overwhelmed, and then I get anxious, and then I feel like I have to finish within a certain time. Like, there is a false sense of urgency that does not feel false at all when I'm in it. But if I'm able to pull myself back just a little, and really assess, again, that brings me back to the judgment, the first impression judgment of things, that maybe it's not such an emergency. Maybe there is room to stop and think, and maybe it doesn't have to be impulsive. So centering myself is the more I pay attention, I realize that I have to have some form of centering whenever overwhelm starts to get the better of me. And of course, nobody can carry their journals everywhere, and the moment you feel overwhelmed, then I'll be spending a lot of my day with my art journal. That is not always possible, but just to have little things in place in my mind to remind me that, need to come back to the center. Could be overwhelming, could be an emergency. I'm not in a position to assess accurately. So just coming back to some form of way, to the center, where I can take a deep breath and then reassess, and take necessary action. Or do nothing, because sometimes doing something messes things up more than doing nothing. So anyway, a lot of these things, I'm just describing my thoughts that are not explicitly written on the page. And when I art journal, I don't feel anybody has to really detail it all out for everybody else to see or read or understand. It's just that I have benefited so much from my art journaling practice. That's why I talk about it so much, because I feel it's a very helpful self-care practice for me, and I think it is for a lot of people. So, and sometimes it's interesting how a spread evolves. Like when this was a book page, and I don't know, I was very drawn to all the ing verbs that were here, like brewing tea, hearing, talking, having, feeling, studying, taking, thinking, amassing. So when I first put paint around, I put paint around those words. And at that time, I did not know how this is going to evolve into a spread. I just found a page that I liked, and I was working in that strictly with paint. And then I found another picture. This was like one big picture that I have cut up in so many pieces. Like his shirt, this gentleman's shirt is actually here, and I put a cat's head on that. I loved doing that. And then bits and pieces of whatever was around him, I have used up in other layouts, other spreads. But then his head was left. So I cut off whatever else was there, and I gave him a black shirt. And I just felt like, we are always focused on doing, and always doing, and doing more, and not taking time to be. So that is another one of my reminders. And of course, things need to be done. It's not like we are doing it because it's luxurious to do it. It just needs to be done, true. But there is also need for the balance. Nothing is wrong in doing. But to have a balance between being and doing somehow is, I find, to be more helpful and healthier. And then, this was so random. Like if you look through the entire journal, all of it is, it's not really just one kind of way. Like it is not a themed, dedicated journal kind of thing. So then again, I found this picture. I think I had cut up the whole thing into half. And I had a word cut out that said voice. And I felt, it is important to speak up. And then I was trying some stitching techniques, which I really loved doing, especially with red thread on some craft paper. Craft paper meaning this is a piece of a brown paper bag. And there are tea bags. It's just everything is upcycled in these journals. There is nothing really that is going to cost me a lot of money to buy. Yes, the paint and stuff, the magazines, yes. But other than that, mostly upcycled materials. And I don't know, my tape was not behaving well. It was getting torn off, and every time, I keep this kind of journals handy whenever I paint or do anything, because then when the tape was not behaving and I couldn't use it for the purpose that I had them out for, just put the tape down and I painted over it. And this is just acrylic paint, you could do inks and whatnot. It just created sort of a visual texture. So, and this page is not complete. It's just sometimes like I pour out 2, 3, 4 spreads in a row, and because it's flowing in that manner. And sometimes I don't even know, I'm just playing. I have nothing to say really, but I'm playing with the texture, I'm playing with the colors, the picture, and some of my old stamps. Just I'm enjoying the rustic color of the whole thing. And on this side, like these are my youngest stickers, and she gets a lot of these stickers because in school they do something well, the teacher sees them doing that, and they would get rewarded with little stickers. And so she comes home and she hands them to me, and I want to keep these as memories also. So I stick them down in my art journal, because my art journals are not precious in terms of material ways, but they have been very instrumental in my coming to seeing myself a little more clearly, not staying like I'm not going to look at the shadow, not like looking at me as a whole person, with the good, the bad, the ugly, and then also processing that, understanding what is and why it came to be, and am I still trapped in that pattern? If I don't have to be trapped in that pattern, how can I change anything? And yeah, so everything in my life kind of gets reflected in my art journals, and so do my children, because my children are a very important part of my life. So yeah, I still have a few more pages left, and I have started making other journals, so I am up to date on my journals. Like I was working on one of these, and this I have never done before. Again, everything is upcycled, recycled materials, and whatever is there. There is nothing that I cut out or used that was fresh from the store and pristine in any way. It's just, leftovers of things and stuff. So that being that, what else have I got to say? I might switch to painting a little today on camera, but before I do that, I want to remind you that the Creativebug promotion discount is still going on. And Creativebug is one of I think it would be my most favorite platform, both to teach and to learn from. And this is just my personal opinion, my personal experience, and they have these discounts that go on up to the 25th of December, and then they have a different discount set starting from the 26th onward. So all of them are wonderful promotions and discounts. And for one, I think you get the first two, when you sign up for a subscription, you get the first 2 months free, and then for the rest of your life, for as long as you stay a subscriber, your annual subscription is going to be half off. I think that's an amazing deal. And then I think this promotion ends on the 25th of December, and then there are the gift subscriptions. All of the details are in my description box. There are links that you can follow, and something to if you are thinking of trying something like in terms of art, crocheting, painting, collaging. There's a lot of different classes available through Creativebug, and I feel bookmaking classes. And sometimes, I would watch a bookmaking class, and I am never going to make a book like that in my life. But somehow, the passion of the teacher, that speaks to me so much that when I do what I want to do, which is not bookmaking probably, I feel that I bring that inspiration to whatever that is I am going to do. And so I feel that it is not always about, it is not like learning math that you have to do this cumulatively. You can skip from one to the next and you just enjoy the slow stitching, the crocheting. And I think they also bake. There are dyeing papers, dyeing fabric classes. There are a wide variety of creative expression available on Creativebug. And I am very passionate about that platform. That's why I talk about it so much. I think, just check the description box. There are going to be all the links, something worth checking out. And it may not be for you, and that's absolutely fine. But if it is a good time to take advantage of the discounts. So with having said that, I don't know, do I have anything else I need to remember? I can't think of anything. So I am going to paint for a little bit, and come along and paint with me if you like. I have been cartooning myself basically and my youngest, and drawing all the things that we do. Let me show you one. Like, she likes to snuggle, She would come and say, "Mommy, can we snuggle?" So here's me and her snuggling, and we are both bears. I don't know, it's just somehow being a bear is very fun. And then when I'm sleeping, she would climb up onto the bed and then, just somehow manage to find a way to sculpt herself around my belly and just sleep. And so this one of our favorite activities is we read to each other. When I'm painting, she would sometimes read to me, and sometimes I would have to read to her. It's a good thing she is able to read by herself now, but still she likes that mommy is going to read to her. So I'm not going to talk so much anymore and just focus on painting. We may or may not finish the whole thing, and that's okay. So this is where I'm at, and I have to go now because my washer cycle is done, and I need to transfer the laundry from my washer to the dryer, which I do not want to forget. So I'm going to go take care of that right now, and I'm going to see you in my next vlog. Bye.